Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Figurehead Reviews live stream. Little story time. I had set one up last night for a live stream to do some comment replies, and I got about 45 minutes into the live stream talking. I was replying to comments, I was doing the whole show, and I kept kind of flipping back and forth to the live studio app in YouTube just to kind of check on like the stream health and things like that. And it turns out the entire time, 45 minutes worth, I wasn't streaming. So I literally in the middle of the stream, I actually saw the button in the corner that said go live, and that was when I was like, oh, and I clicked it, and the stream actually probably started more with this, with my head just buried in my hands, because I realized that I had just spent the last 45 minutes talking and it wasn't live at all. So that was a good lesson. So change things up obviously for this one, and just wanted to jump in. Hey, what's up, Young? How you doing, man? Good to see you in the chat there. But yeah, so I figured, since last night was such a bust, and I feel really bad. I'm typically a very punctual person, and I was very annoyed that I had said I was going to start a stream at 10:15, and there it was 11 o'clock before I realized I wasn't streaming. So, but that's it for story time. Tonight, since I replied to all the comments last night, I figured just hang out, talk about toys, look at, I got some websites queued up. We'll take a look at some upcoming toys, things like that. I call them toys, you know what I mean, action figures, collectibles, stuff like that. I do have the chat open here so I can see that pretty clearly, so feel free to ask questions. It doesn't have to be about action figures. If you guys got questions about anything going on with the channel, stuff like that, I'm game for having a conversation. So I guess with that, though, I do kind of want to jump in, and let me switch over here real quick on my end. Wanted to talk about one of the new figures coming out here, and we can get that switched up. I'm on the Mezco website, Mezco Toyz, and I was wondering if any of you guys had seen the new Superman figure that they're putting out. And what your thoughts are on it, if you have any. This right there is going to stop me, unfortunately. $125 is not in my wheelhouse. Yeah. And you know what? I swear, when I was on this site earlier where it says the non-refundable deposit of $31.25, I could have sworn it was less. I don't know if they made it go more, but I mean, it's a solid looking figure though. Like Mezco definitely really doing a good job with this one. I mean, the outfit looks very true to the movie. Hey Oculus, what's happening, man? How you doing? Sorry if you tried to get into the chat last night or the stream last night. Yeah, long story, but we're just hanging out talking about new and upcoming figures, so feel free to jump in the chat, man. But yeah, I mean, this, the likeness is really solid on this, and of course Mezco having the actual costume looks good. I mean, this pose right there looks awesome. And somebody had made a comment in one of my videos about some of my generic poses on some of my figures where I just have them in I call them splash page poses, because they're fists out or something like that, or something like this here with Christopher Reeve standing there. I like those kinds of poses. I mean, I grew up with a lot of the trading cards of the 90s, the Marvel trading cards and stuff like that. So those were always just, a single character doing some sort of pose. So that's the way I see it. I love splash page poses. That's just me. But yeah, I know I'm gonna be rambling a lot. You guys have no idea how much I have to rein myself in my reviews, because if I rambled the way that I ramble in real life, my reviews would be 15-20 minutes long. Don't believe me, go back and watch some of my old videos. Like, that is for sure. I will say, like, looking at this promo shot, having a more aggressive alternate head would have been good, because like him looking completely calm, which I guess thinking back to the movie, he did look pretty calm most of the time. Like, I think what's the scene when the robber falls off the building and he goes and gets him, and it's just, you know, like, here you go, officer. Like, that was, he was definitely playing the what do they call it, Boy Scout version of Superman. But still looks good. This I know is getting a lot of hate, this smirk, but I've seen a lot of people when they look it up that it's actually accurate to how Christopher Reeve looked. Yeah, Oculus, it's definitely not a bad looking face. It does look, I don't know if it's the skin tone or what. I hate that Mezco has a blurry shot, like, on their own website. Like, not to be a jerk, but my camera could have gotten that better, and like, that's a value thing. But yeah, this one, it looks goofy, but it is what he looks like in some of the pictures, I guess, that people found of Christopher Reeve smiling. So yeah, here's another one. I mean, punching through a brick wall, completely plain face. I think an alternate head of like the just the scream that he lets out at the end when Lois is dead, that would have been a good alternate face that actually could have worked, not only for recreating that scene, but for when he's punching through a brick wall, you know, just screaming, or at least teeth gritted. Like, even this, like, it's kryptonite. He doesn't have any strain, so I don't know. That's kind of a bummer, but the rest of it looks pretty good, though. I mean, it's still a solid looking figure, and I feel like if you got the Keaton Batman, like, you kind of have to. As a matter of fact, I have right up here, I never reviewed these, but I haven't even opened them. When NECA released the Keaton Batman and the Superman one, I have those NECA ones, and I still have them in the box. I never did anything with them. I don't know, maybe someday I'll open them. We'll see. But you know, I could see if you had the Keaton Batman for sure wanting to get this. It's not the best camera ever. It's a good camera, I will admit. The Sony A6300 is probably about 4 years old now, 5 years. My brother bought the 6400. He literally had to one-up me. Sorry, I'll be taking some drinks here. And of course, Mezco, including some light-up features there in the Fortress of Solitude crystals. I mean, some cool. I can't. That face is so goofy looking. Like, hold on. Let's just Google this. Christopher Reeve smiling. What do we get? Oh, hold on. I mean, when you look at that picture, it is right there. That's because I got a macro lens, Oculus. That's the big thing. This one is 125, like way too much, way out of my price range for what I want to do. 125 is way too much, but it looks like maybe they did actually get the smirk right. Yeah. But yeah, 125 is definitely way too much. And it looks like you get the necklace, you get the actual kryptonite chunk. Yeah, not bad. But yeah, 125 is oof. Like, I did the Mezco, the John Stewart, and the Hal Jordan, and those are the only two Mezcos I have. I was kind of dipping my toes into the premium line, and those were, I think, 85 each, and that was like, I got a full-time job obviously, but of course I'm not making any side money or anything like that from YouTube or anything. So I mean, this is my primary paycheck to support my hobby. So that means if I did Mezco, I'd have to cut something out, and it becomes that conversation of like quantity over quality. And I guess Legends, I feel the value is there, and it, like, obviously a Legends figure is not as good as a Mezco figure, but I'm also not paying $125 per figure. So what else do they got here, though? I haven't been to the Mezco website in a while. Yeah, I heard about this one, Conan, coming out here soon. Yeah, see, that's a little bit better. 90 bucks. That seems more doable. Solid looking figure. Look at all those scars and stuff on it. Or those scars and veins. I wonder, does it come with that base? I don't know about that head. It looks a little too... I don't know. Yeah, I hope so. I'd definitely be down for getting up there. Honestly, I'd be... sorry, I'm responding to Oculus, your comment. I know I'm going to have to get used to kind of like reading your comments and then responding. But yeah, I'd like to. The goal is someday to make content that more than a few hundred people enjoy. I have fun with this. I mean, I started this just for fun, but see, now that's the type of head sculpt right there, gritting teeth. Which, I mean, with Conan, you really should have. But yeah, there is a lot of character, and especially being Mezco. Obviously, you don't have cloth over 90% of this. Yeah, no problem, Oculus. Take care of it, man. But yeah, that head sculpt is definitely what I'm talking about with like the Christopher Reeve. What figure is he fighting there, I wonder? Is that something that they made? Or just something for the shot? Yeah, look at all that detail they put into that. A lot of veins, a lot of scars. I like the texturing on the flesh there too. Not a not just a smooth plastic, not a smooth chunk of plastic. Sorry, just hopping out, taking a look at something real fast here. Yeah, that's solid. I like that sculpt a lot. What do we get? We get broadsword. How do you pronounce that? Scimitar? Is that how it's pronounced? I don't know. Removable sheath, battle axe. I mean, solid looking figure. 90 bucks is pretty good. I feel like you lose some of the Mezco benefit of like the actual cloth clothing. I mean, he does have some cloth stuff though, so there's a lot of extra work that's going into that sculpt. So I guess I can't fault him too much. 90 bucks does seem reasonable still. What else they got? Anything else good from DC? Oh yeah, I forgot about this one too. I remember seeing this. Mr. Freeze looked pretty sweet. I mean, I'm just way too behind. Excuse me, way too behind on some of the Mezco stuff. Like, I would have wanted to get Flash, the Reverse Flash, some of the other Justice League figures. That's kind of why I figured with Green Lantern, I would just jump in and hope that they do a lot of Green Lantern figures. But we'll see about that. And that's a solid figure too, though. I love the pattern there on the fabric. Doesn't look like the stretchy material that we got with like Green Lantern. Looks like it's actually a thicker, piece of fabric. Love some of the shots Mezco does. I tried doing action figure photography, and it's just the setups and things like that. Unfortunately, with a 2-year-old, I just don't have the time to do that part of the hobby plus the channel or the videos and stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool looking though. blast there in Batman's face. Yeah, I love the way that fabric sits on him, the creases and stuff like that. And it looks like they kept it baggy enough so that you can move things around. That's a cool shot. Light up helmet, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a solid looking figure too. What else they got? DC Universe. Saw this, yeah, there's the Keaton Batman, 110 bucks. Man, that would be. I would want this more than I'd want the Superman. Like, yes, I did. Yes, I figured it out. I got the live stream working. We're just chatting about toys, man. So throw anything in the comments. We're just having fun looking at some of the upcoming Mezco stuff right now. So, but yeah, I would definitely want this Keaton Batman the more than that Superman, just because Keaton Batman for me, 89, I was 8, and that was prime. I was prime target for that. I loved those Batman movies. So yeah, this Keaton Batman would definitely, man, I would want that, and I do want that. But 110. Oh, it includes a second cape with posing wire. Nice. Oh, and it has movable eyes. That's kind of cool. Probably because you can't really move the head. I mean, it looks like they stayed true to the movie. It doesn't look like there's any extra articulation in that head there. So, see, that's cool though with the movable eyes. I like that. And Mezco with these shots, man, straight out of the movie. A little bit of bloodied and beaten version. That's a cool scene. Yeah, solid looking figure for sure. I mean, that is one I would definitely want. Um, I don't know. Mezco, like I said, every time I look at one of these, 110 bucks is almost a completely wave. I have not gotten that in hand yet. The Spider-Man 2.0 mold. I have not gotten that in hand yet. I watched a couple reviews. Um, it seems to be pretty decent from what I can see. I think probably when I get it in hand, I think the issue that a lot of us are going to have is it's getting hyped up a lot because it's been, what, 5 years since Pizza Spidey was released? So I think it's going to get hyped up, and then people are going to get it and then realize it's still a Marvel Legends figure. So it's still going to have some paint flaws. It's still going to have, um, just kind of like, I don't know, gummy joints or who knows what, with each batch. That's not to say it doesn't look like it'll be awesome though. I'm most excited because it looks like they finally, or I mean, maybe this was a lead into it, with the articulation we got for Snake Eyes, with the diaphragm joint and the ab crunch. That, when I was posing Snake Eyes around, I was like, this needs to translate over to Legends. Like, we need to see this. And then, obviously, we got that with this specific body mold. So, I think the Pizza Spidey mold will still have its place because it's definitely a leaner mold than this new one. I don't know. I think you get rid of Bucky Cap and you replace it with a Spidey 2099, the white suit, the all new, all different Spidey 2099 mold. Because then you get butterfly joints. I think the only trick with that, the Bullseye Spider-Man 2099, is it has. I don't think it's an issue, but it has the pieces to make it look like it's fabric, like you have the stretchy fabric pieces. So I could see them not wanting to use that for certain characters, I guess. But I think that looks good. But you get rid of that. Pizza Spidey mold becomes the Slender mold for whatever other characters. Like none come to mind really. I got a Marvel poster on my wall. Let's see, who would fit a Pizza Spidey mold? Actually, now looking at it, maybe not many, because that new Spidey mold might be better. Anyway, so I might be talking on my ass. So, Yeah, no problem, man. But yeah, I am excited for it. It'll look good. Let's see. Did I already go? Oh, I did go through Batman. What else we got? AG Beast, $85. And you see this classic Wonder Woman. That's solid looking. I don't know how I feel though about them having to do some of the flesh tones and stuff. I know it doesn't feel like an $85 figure because the whole appeal to Mezco is getting some of the the suit to cover up joints and stuff, and obviously you just can't do that with Wonder Woman. What is that? Okay, just looked like a something sticking out there. I'm gonna say, what are they posing there? I mean, this face sculpt, it's good. There's definitely more paint going into it than we'd probably see with a. I wouldn't say that. I was gonna say more than a Legends figure, and it's more accurate. I mean, it looks like it's pretty lined up well, but the sculpt itself doesn't really look all that amazing to me. $90. I don't know about that. Yeah, I would have liked to get the Jim Gordon. That's a solid one too. The only thing that I don't like, and this one's actually not terrible, I guess, but whenever you have to have like regular looking clothes on a figure, especially a 1/12 or even a 7-inch scale, they always look really baggy just because you can't scale down fabric. I mean, you can make a small coat, but it's still going to have the same thickness of the fabric that you use. So, hey, what's up, man? Is it Zyquan? Is that how you pronounce that? What's up, man? Thanks for jumping in. We're just hanging out looking at toys, man. You got any questions or comments? Toss them in chat. I got it open. Cool. All right, I got it right. First try. Oh, nothing in Friday the 13th. All right. What else we got? I had wanted to get this Ghostbusters set when it came out. I'm a child of the 80s, so I thought about getting it, but I don't know. It was just too much, man. I mean, what was it, 300? Yeah, that's just too much. It's not when you think about like the individual cost of figures, and you're getting four of them with all different sculpts and everything. But yeah, too much. What else we got? What do they got from Marvel? Have I seen this blade? I don't know if I saw the blade here. Solid looking though. I like that. All the straps and everything. I mean, you're not gonna throw in a Snipes head though. I feel like getting a Wesley Snipes head is just something that I would want to have with this. What do you guys think? Yeah, solid looking figure though. I like it. I like the tattoos and everything. Body armor looks pretty dope. Yeah, they did a really good job with that. Not bad. What else they got in the Marvel Universe? Yeah, I did see this, and I remember people when it first posted not really thinking much of it. And yeah, that shoulder piece, I feel like there's too much going on with that shoulder piece. And you get the light up Infinity Gauntlet though. Yeah, I mean it's not bad. That face sculpt is pretty sweet. I like that face sculpt. Hey, Oculus, welcome back. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I wonder about these pieces if they're just glued onto the fabric or anything. Yeah, I was just looking at Blade. Solid looking figure, I will admit. I don't know about the shoulder piece on Thanos. It just seems to be too much. Yeah. Did I already get to the end of it? Oh, there it is. And then you get the two different pieces for that. Yeah, I mean, it's solid, but what is it, 110 for this one? Is that what? Oh, 155. Nope. Nope. Yeah, see, the 80 and 85 is more my style. Oh, yeah, that's right. They did do a Snipes blade, didn't they? 6 inch. They are 6 inch scale. Actually, I would almost say, I mean, they're 6 inch scale, but they feel just ever so slightly smaller than some of the Marvel Legends figures I've seen. That's pretty solid. I guess that's not a Snipes head sculpt, is it? Feels like it's more inspired by, but I guess that's not Wesley Snipes. I don't really say. Hmm. Ah, the Warriors. I mean, it's a cool box set that it comes with the two Warriors. I mean, I don't know if I would have wanted the what was this gang called again? What were they called? I can't remember what that gang was. Baseball Fury. Yeah, Oculus Diamond is 7 inch scale, like Marvel Select and stuff. This is a classic movie too. If you've never seen The Warriors, definitely a classic movie. I feel like this body sculpt though, like this looks like plastic. Like that Conan figure we looked at, it looked good. You had some better detail and stuff. This just looks like plastic. I mean, I like the choices that they got for him. Yes, the Baseball Furies. I don't know, solid figures. 275 isn't bad for four of them, I will admit. I've seen enough of Popeye. Oh, they got a. I didn't know that they had a new 2-pack coming out though. I've seen that Popeye left and right, people throwing it up. That's pretty good there. Bluto's looking pretty fierce. I don't know if I've ever seen the director's cut of the Warriors. Now that I think about it. If I did, I don't know if I could tell you why I would think you would want to skip it. Either way, it makes me want to go back and watch it. I actually saw, so growing up, The Crow, Brandon Lee movie was uh, much more in my uh, realm of I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. The Crow was a movie that came out when I was younger, so I watched that, and the guy that plays T-Bird ends up playing, the main antagonist of the Warriors. So I saw the Warriors after I saw the Crow, and watching him do the bottle scene at the end. Um, I always just saw T-Bird doing that. I don't know, that was just weird. And a solid figure. Popeye is just not big enough in my wheelhouse to really worry about. Cool looking figures though. I mean, I can't knock them. Definitely good looking figures. What do they come with? Where's the end? Oh, you get an actual sailor suit with them. That's kind of cool. Yeah, not bad. What is Rumble Society? Oh, yeah. That's right. It does have those comic book elements to it, doesn't it? I totally forgot about that. Like it's like the weird cutaways or something, right? Yeah, I think, I'm wondering now if the last time I watched it, if it was the director's cut, because now that you say that, I feel like I watched it and remember thinking, what the hell is this? Yeah, I do remember that. Yep. Well, that's about it for Mezco. Popeye only has one eye. That cannon. I guess I never. I mean, he's always just winking. But yeah, fair enough. Oh, what else do we got here? That's kind of it for Mezco. Let's see who else we can look up. Uh, Tried to get through it and just couldn't. Yeah, I'd have to go back and see. Hey, Serge, what's up, man? What did you miss? Not much. We're just BSing. I was looking through some Mezco stuff. We're gonna probably, I don't know, maybe switch over to Hasbro Pulse, see what they got. Not that we don't all know what Marvel Legends are out there, but I don't know, give us some talking points. By the way, if either of you guys tried to get into the stream last night, I did start by saying that, yeah, I kind of goofed on how live streams work. I didn't realize in the new YouTube studio you have to hit. I hit start stream on my OBS software, but then I have to hit start stream inside the studio as well. And I never had to do that before. It auto started. And apparently there was a new option for auto start that had been unchecked by default. So I talked to myself for 45 minutes last night before realizing I didn't actually go live. Serge, you know what? You're right in time actually, because I think I commented in one of your videos that I'm wanting to get, I want to get some of the Lightning Collection figures, um, and I just want to get Mighty Morphin, but it would be like this 2-pack here, and probably some putties for them to fight. So, Serge, how do I like live so far? It's different. Uh, one of the things I commented, I don't even think there might have been one person in the room. I think it might have been Young was in the room. Um, I commented that I tend to ramble a lot, and uh, if you go back to watch like my previous videos that are like 10 to 15-minute long, it's because I just ramble a lot. So it's kind of fun being able to live stream and ramble. So yeah, I actually, Serge, just watched your video on this guy right here, as a matter of fact, the Blue Ranger. I mostly have been looking to see how difficult it is to get some of these guys, and obviously sold out. I mean, I haven't looked too much. I figure $20 a pop. I'm going to get into this for a few $100 to get all the original figures plus. I need to get like Zed and stuff. I did get the GameStop Goldar. This is the whole reason I kind of want to get them. Is I got the GameStop Goldar. GameStop had a clearance sale about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It was like a 3-day long sale um, where they had Goldar, $4. So I was like, I have no other figures, and I was like, I'll just pick up Goldar so I get in there. So $4, I snagged them. So I have a few extra I can send you. You talking about figures, man? You don't have to do that. Maybe we'll see for a review or something, so I can at least get them on the table. So, but yeah, solid figures. I was actually just watching. Oh no, not this one. Never mind. I thought it was a different figure. Yeah, see, I got out of Power Rangers pretty much after maybe around the time of the movie. Now that I think of the first movie, like I was watching it, and then Turbo was the second movie, right? I feel like Turbo is when I was getting out of it because now I know you have all these different Rangers, and by then I was in my teens, mid-teens, high school, so it was mostly about music and girls at that point. So I wasn't watching as much TV, but they look like solid figures. I do like them. I get the Red Ranger. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me grab something. I'll be right back. All right, hold on. I'm back. I just want you guys seeing my fat ass standing up. So I found a collection of toys, and where are they? I gotta clean them up. I think these were actually from a McDonald's set, but I had my my GI Joe figures as a kid growing up, and I'm almost positive that it was a McDonald's like Happy Meal toys. These guys right here. I think I got a couple more, but I'll just show these ones off. They are filthy. I got to clean them. But old Red Ranger, we got White Ranger, and a little Blue Ranger. So these were someone that I mixed in because they were just the right size as my GI Joes. Actually, a little bit taller, it looks like, but they fit well with the GI Joes. So I played with these for that. Do I have any others? I don't think I have any of the female ones. No. Looks like it was just those three. Yeah, it was just those three. What did I miss here? I got the impression that the Ranger figs have better articulation than Legends. True. Yeah, like I said, I was watching Surge's reviews, and it looks to me the biggest thing is that diaphragm joint looks like it gives a bit more range, from what I can tell. You get the ab crunch, so basically you get the new Spider-Man mold articulation. So, yeah. What else I got? I can't wait for these guys to come in. I got them all pre-ordered. We'll get them going. I mean, I already did my review on the Snake Eyes. I feel like they kind of skimped out on Cobra, though. Only getting Destro with that lineup. So. I really... Were they McDonald's toys? I see the writing on them. It doesn't say. 1995 though is the date on like this little Blue Ranger. So 95. So I would have been 14. So that definitely would have been the tail end. So you know what? I'm gonna ask you guys right now. So I've heard multiple things on this. So this briefcase right here, I've had people say that they are McDonald's figs. I figured they were. So, but I've heard people say that this was money, and I've heard people say that this is C4 up there. I'm actually kind of inclined to go with the C4 concept because of the fact that it's a computer terminal and everything. It kind of fits more with GI Joe. So what's the verdict? What do you think? Money or C4 or explosives? I guess it doesn't have to be C4, but Oculus, yeah. I feel you on the money woes, especially with everything going on. I basically when Multiverse stopped, I stopped collecting the Mattel Multiverse. So I haven't had any new DC figures other than that Mezco. So that really cut back on a line. Surge says explosives. Yeah, I think they're explosives too. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you too, though, Oculus. Like, very easily could be bans, money bans going around. I would just like to think that if it was money, that they would have said more. Here, let's see. Does it actually say? Accessories inspired by the character's history. Nope. Doesn't say anything. I do like the design on it, though. Cobra logo. I'm going to tell you, this artwork, I feel like a goon. I don't know if I ever just never paid attention to it, but I never really realized how Destro's collar looks like the Cobra. I never noticed that. Ugh. That reminds me, though. Hold on. I'll be right back again. Promise, it won't be long. As we get closer to the Joe's release, I actually found these at my mom's house. If you remember these guys, the reissues of the 12-inch Joes. Boom. Yeah, I found those. And Destro does have, I have the helmet, but I mean, the chrome is way faded. But if you ever want to know what Destro looked like, that's what he looked like. But yeah, I was going to do a toy box review on those guys just because it seemed fitting. And never seen these before. Yeah, he's got a mask underneath. But yeah. Yeah, so we'll do that here. We'll let Cobra Commander stand up back there if he'll stay standing. Those, man, I don't know when those were reissued. Oh, where we at? Exclusives, yeah, not much. Always thought he was bald. Yeah, apparently not. Yeah. Quite a handsome looking guy, too, actually. I guess. No. I need to get a chrome pen, though, because this thing is sufficiently yellow. Like, that is bad. I have, where's that? Where I order most of my figs? Uh, Pulse. I definitely order a lot from Pulse, for sure. Actually, believe it or not, Pulse and Best Buy. Best Buy is kind of nice because they're the only place I can think of. I guess I'd have to look at Walmart. I never really bothered to look at their financing, but I have a Best Buy card and I get the financing. And I know that sounds really bad to say, but if I wait and I get a couple waves at once, I can finance them out. So that is kind of nice to do that. Matter of fact, that was how I got the Fantastic Four wave. I have the what do you call it? I have the Crimson Dynamo wave now. I actually have the Demon Goblin wave, and I just got the Age of Apocalypse wave. So I'm like 4 waves behind on reviews. and it's mostly work has been ramping back up now that Michigan is starting to open up, and it's just cutting into my time. That's why I'm doing the live stream tonight. I could have done either the live stream or I could have done a video, and honestly I was just tired, so I didn't. Best Buy online or in person? Online mostly. The stores. So I've discovered that the stores don't get a full box in for, like, say, a Legends Wave. They get somewhere at their distribution center, somebody's going to pull out 2 go in this one, 2 go in that one, 2 go in this one, and then 5 different stores are going to get 2 figures from a single box. So I usually just do it online, which is a bit of a gamble though, because you can't pick the specific figure. If it's a wave, that is, it's an assortment, so they're just going to send you 5 random ones. So that one, I got lucky with the Fantastic Four wave where they sent me 5 individuals, and then I just ordered who I didn't have off of Hasbro Pulse. Same thing with Crimson Dynamo, and actually Age of Apocalypse was the same. So, Surge, how's shipping? Good, actually. I did get the Gray Beast that I just reviewed from Best Buy, and it did say it was going to be delayed, which right now a lot of these delays I'm kind of taking with a grain of salt, everything that's going on. But I ended up, what did I put that review up on, the 10th or the 11th? I mean, I got it pretty quick. Usually when I get my notice that it's shipped, I'm definitely going to get it within a day or two. Matter of fact, I usually get it in like a day. I don't know if that's just because my proximity, here in Flint. I don't know if that's better, but yeah. But what else we got? I mean, we might as well take a look. Actually, what are your guys' thoughts on the Plasma series? Sorry, phone went off. Like, don't get me wrong, Ghostbusters is definitely one of my favorite, I'm again child of the 80s, but I'm not feeling these. Oculus Gray Beast, yuck. Yeah, like so I mentioned this in the 45-minute rant that I did to myself last night. I was responding to one of your comments, I think your Gray Beast comment. You are the reason, Oculus, that for that Gray Beast review, I went back and I read Amazing Adventures 11 through 16 because I wanted to be like, you know what? I missed the Wolverine eyes that you had called out. I was like, I wasn't paying attention. Like, I need to up my game a bit. So I went back and I read Amazing Adventures 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I did not read 17 because 17 was, I read the first few pages, but 17 was a reprint of a X-Men Origins of Beast story, and so it had nothing to do with Furry Beast. But yes, that is why that review actually contained more than usual amounts of character backstory as to how it related to the figure. So going to wait for clearance prices for Gray Beast. Yeah, I feel like he might be a bit of a peg warming retro figure, I guess. I think people were hyped at first, but then it was just kind of like, I guess I didn't realize too that Gray Beast had such a short run. Like, I always thought Gray Beast was a more significant time in his history, but apparently it was just those, 4 issues I said? 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah. Sorry, hopefully you guys can't hear my phone is blowing up this late at night. That's work. Tomorrow is going to be a hectic day at work. I'm flattered or something, yes. That, like I said, that was you. That is why that review had so much stuff. But I appreciate it. Like I said in my other comment, like, I appreciate you, like, your comments are awesome. Like, you actually have a lot of you're kind of like me when I talk about stuff from the 80s. Like you're talking about the figures, or not figures, but the characters that you grew up with, and their versions of that they were when you grew up with them. And that's always something that you're going to be more knowledgeable. Was GB, Gray Beast, or Ghostbusters? Oh yeah, that's a good call. Surge, Ghostbusters or Gray Beast? Because you might be right though. Ghostbusters might end up going clearance. I could see those being. Yeah, fair enough. I could see Ghostbusters doing that too, though. All right, phone, you are going over somewhere. Yeah, that works. Put it on the floor. I could see these Ghostbuster figures possibly going on clearance too. The only thing where is it? Something that I guess I'm not entirely surprised because like it looks like with Egon we get a PKE. With Venkman, what do we get? You get a trap. With Ray, you get the goggles, I'm guessing. And then with Winston, the only one that comes with the beam. Like that seems really irritating to me that I would get all 4 Ghostbusters and I could only have one of them shooting. Like that is really annoying to me. I mean, it's not a deal breaker for the figures. It's not the reason that I'm not getting them, but yeah. And this feels really, I don't know about these proportions. Like, I guess it looks fine, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess that does make sense. I never really thought about that, Surge. They want Winston to sell. You might, man, would people be army building? Army building Winston, so you're gonna see Winston loose on eBay for $15 without his blast stream. Set of the boys with the other ones are an easy pass. Yeah, like definitely Zool. Yeah, is kind of lanky. I don't know. Doesn't look like she has much of a neck. Oh, there it is. So it does have it, but let me get some lightning effects shooting out of the hands, and Do we get to see what the build a ghost or build a creature looks like? I almost would have rather had. Well, I guess if I almost would have rather had a Lewis Tully figure than Zool. Zool could have been a wave too. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not feeling like I'm glad they got the property and that they're doing stuff with it so quickly. You know what? I just realized you guys can't see everything here. I'm gonna move my head over. Yeah. Hasbro doing all these prop replicas are kind of cool because they're getting prop replicas at a decent price point. So, well, let's take a look, shall we? New to old. So we got the Spider-Man Retro Wave. I do have that on pre-order. So earlier I was asked what I think about the new Spider-Man sculpt. I have the whole wave on pre-order, so I will be doing those at some point. And that Goblin is solid. Like, I think the thing I'm really excited for is we finally get a unmasked Osborn head. But dude, that head sculpt to me. Now, Oculus, you're gonna maybe correct me because this is your era that I think they're going for. But I think that head sculpt looks great. It looks super cartoonish, and not cartoonish as in the '90s cartoon, just silly. Um, but I like it. I think it looks good. Yeah, I actually have the old Toy Biz. I guess you could say the figure this is based on in my collection, but he's in my subscription list somewhere too. If you can't find him, Oculus, he's in my subscription list. Yeah, solid looking figure. I do like the Daredevil. I like that we finally get what might look more like a proper Matt Murdock head. Looks good. I like it. Of course, Peter Parker. I know everybody is razzing on these glasses. The more Ditko-ish, the better, for sure. Like, I think that's, you know, the eyes and everything on Spider-Man. I didn't really look at Electro yet, but yeah, I think that's. I like that these retro waves aren't necessarily trying to mimic what we got in those waves, from a standpoint of like making them look like that. But yeah, the Daredevil. What is it called? Wasn't shit. No. Does it say new design? I don't know why I wanted to say Shadowlands, but that's definitely not Shadowlands. It was just a 90s. Let's see. Daredevil red black suit. Let's see what Google finds us. Oh. Google's finding us the wrong red and black suit. Armored suit. There we go. First appearance. Daredevil 321. Is that it? No, that can't be it. Published in 93. That might be it. I'm Googling stuff for you here. Daredevil armored suit. He gets to see some. I think I got this toy. I didn't get the figure there. I think it's a cool looking suit. Definitely very 90s. Yeah, looks good. This head sculpt, not Matt Murdock. Or the actual Daredevil is not Matt Murdock. Now I gotta look that up too. Armored suit. Spelled armored wrong. Oculus. Have I mentioned my general distaste for 90s comics? So, I got into comics late 80s, and really it was through hand-me-down. So it wasn't that I was into comics, it was that my brother was into comics. So I got the hand-me-downs. Like I have some issues of Batman from the late 80s. I got some Superman right after like Infinite Crisis, or Crisis on Infinite Earths. So I have like, what is it, like Superman in like 17 or 18. You know, so I'm like 1987, 88. I have a bunch of like Acts of Vengeance story arc comics from Marvel, which was I think an 89 story arc. But man, yeah, when you get into the 90s stuff, oof, yeah, the 90s stuff. I think probably my most 90s thing that I can think of. So I actually had a project that I did a couple years ago. Uh, I've mentioned before that Green Lantern is my favorite comic book character, specifically Hal Jordan. Not that I don't, I love all of the Green Lantern mythos, but like Hal for me, because he has the most history. But I embarked on a project and I read every Green Lantern story from Showcase 22 to the Green Lantern, like when he did the solo series. So Showcase 22, I think, was 1959. And then I've read all the way up now, Rebirth. I think I might be maybe 8 months to a year behind on Green Lantern. And that included reading some of the spin off stuff. So Green Lantern Corps, Green Lantern Mosaic, Tales of the Green Lantern Corps. And then as I went through each major story arc in the DC universe, I kind of read all those. So like I read Crisis on Infinite Earths and how that impacted stuff. Um, but the most 90s thing, sorry to get back on topic, was reading Guy Gardner, Warrior, when they turned him into this alien hybrid thing with tattoos and markings on him, and he could morph his arms into blasters. Like, oh my god. Guy Gardner, Warrior, Alien. I'm Googling this because that was by far. Yeah, there he is. Oh, maybe not. Go back. There's his arms turning into guns. Did I read the Green Lantern story where the little kid blows up in a hard vacuum? Probably. I mean, if it was an actual Green Lantern story, but it sounds like it might have been something in passing. Yeah, that was that one image right there. Like the 90s summed up in one image. Oh, man. Hey, what's up? My oldest subscriber, is it Salam? Is that how you pronounce it? My oldest subscriber that, at the very least, my oldest subscriber that is still active on the channel, man. How's it going? Awesome to see you. Glad to have you here, man, for sure. We're just hanging out talking about toys, so we're having a good time. What are we doing here? What other retro ones? They don't have Kingpin listed up here. No, they don't have Kingpin listed. And I did notice they already have one figure up. I'm sure they put the whole wave up, but they have one figure up from the Strong Guy wave. And of course, it's a Deadpool figure. It's always a Deadpool figure. Ugh. You know, I had actually looked up because I was curious about the artwork for the Age of Apocalypse box art, and I found the artist. Yeah, right here, David Nakayama. And he actually has like the full side panel art. Pretty cool art style. I like it. I mean, it's certainly not the art style of those comics, but it's cool seeing like the box art in full frame. Hope they stop forcing Deadpool on us. Yeah, dude, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Serge, I'm gonna get the movie Deadpool. Yeah, I mean, them getting the Fox license, one of the coolest things to happen. I have the uh, Hugh Jackman Wolverine pre-ordered. Um, I don't know if I got any other. I don't know if any other pre-orders are up. But yeah, I mean, this artwork is pretty cool, and it is neat seeing like the box art uh, for these. Like he has like his box art for the Ultimate Rider Squirrel Girl. I always mess up saying that. And it actually kind of cool shows like the process, so like how he's gonna put it on there. And then he had the Deadpool 2-pack. Oz. When items are sold out, they put them on the last page. Oh, that's right. For Pulse. So yeah, if I go back to the retro, and Kingpin probably is sold out, isn't he? Go to the last page. No, no, but that Spider-Man sold out. That's not a surprise. That is not a surprise at all. The Black Tom Cassidy figure. Yeah. I love that they're giving us more X-Men for sure. Let me pull that back up because he had the box art, I think, for that. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Figure looks like it's kind of bland. Let me see. Can I pull up that wave? Strong guy wave. Oh, what we got? Big Bad Toy Stores order on it. I don't know, man. The excuse me. The pirate Deadpool. Like, I didn't read a lot of Deadpool's, like, recent Deadpool stories. I mean, I get what they're doing with him. You know, he's definitely a popular character. I just, I agree. We are just getting so much Deadpool. It's ridiculous. Like, like in this wave alone, we get 2 Deadpools. I mean, granted, they are very different Deadpools, but, and actually, is this one? I don't know why when I go full screen it looks weird on the stream, but I was looking to see if I could tell what mold that's on. This looks like it's on the 2099 mold, which I think is the same mold they used for the Retro Wave Deadpool. I don't even know who the hell that one is. The Walking Shark. Yeah. There's some 90s love for you right there. That's what I was looking for, Tom. He's in... What body is that? I'm trying to see if I can tell what mold that is. It's not Bucky Cap. Maybe it's an updated mold? I don't know. Surge reminds me how Playmates repackaged Ninja Turtles with Pirates Deadpool. Yeah, I have. It worked on me though. I have a lot of those turtles. Like I have the, what was it? There's like the Surfer Michelangelo, where he's wearing the surfer outfit. Uh, I can't even remember all of them off the top of my head, but I probably had like 20 different turtles. You're right on. The third agent. Yeah, I'm with you because I don't even know who the hell that is. I'd have to look her up. The Sunspot figure looks pretty decent. Definitely the Warpath figure looks solid for sure. Yeah, too many for sure, Surge. Like I always think about like I'm glad I look at like this and I see the estimated date being October. Like I always talk in like how many waves I'm behind. So like I still got to get the Gamerverse wave, the Gamerverse Abomination wave. Was Deadpool's wife. Now, so another Deadpool family member in the mix. So we get 3 references to Deadpool. Yeah. Um. Shit, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, how many waves I'm behind? Like I'm behind the Gamerverse wave, and I'm always looking at like, okay, what's next? What's you know? And then I think about too. I still got to deal with uh, whatever they're going to do for San Diego Comic Con this year. I mean, they're not going to just not do it. So we're going to have some SDCC figures coming up that, you know, what the heck are those going to be? So, ugh, I'm not looking forward to SDCC in terms of having to get it online. I don't know if you guys did. Was it last year? I guess it was it just last year that they did the Hulk, the Retrowave Hulk. I think it is. Because I literally, so I'm a premium Hasbro Pulse premium member, and I got the day early, and it was like 5 minutes after it went live, and it was sold out. And because they said it'll come up like around noon, so I spent the entire, well, not the entire day, but several hours the following day, literally refreshing the page to get that SDCC Hulk. It was ridiculous. Third Agent. I just finished the Apocalypse Bath last week, and it's amazing. You're talking about the, what was it? The Apocalypse Wave one, or you're talking about the Age of Apocalypse. Either way, like the Age of Apocalypse one looks solid, and the Apocalypse Wave is definitely solid for sure. A lot of that stuff sold out in 1 second. Yeah, like that SDCC Hulk. So I refreshed the page. Like I was literally sitting on my phone and a laptop, and I was just refreshing the pages, and it finally came through. And I had heard horror stories from the day before of people saying that they wanted to order two, because with the retro stuff, I have a lot of doubles because I want to keep them on card, but certain ones I want to also actually have in the collection. So I wanted two of that Hulk because I wanted one to open and one to keep. And I'm sitting there refreshing. It pops up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to add one, because I heard the horror stories of people saying that by the time they added and switched it to two, that it said that it was sold out. Like I was logged in, I had my card saved, all that stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Order the one. It took me maybe 10 seconds to order it. Like I got in, got out, I was excited. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do a second order. So I jumped in to do the second order, and it was gone. Oz. Always search 1 hour before they say it will be released. I was told that by a Hasbro person. Yeah, I mean, in my experience, it seems like whatever time they tell you, regardless, is like it's like an arbitrary number, and maybe that's why they said that, because it wouldn't surprise me. Third Agent. I spent 220, got two SDCC Sentinels, Apocalypse, Rogue, and like 20 other X-Men characters. Also got the true 2-pack with Cyclops and Dark Phoenix. Not what? If you paid 220 and got all of that, that's actually pretty solid, because I've seen that true 2-pack now sold listings on eBay for like $200. I still got mine. I don't know if you can see where my finger is pointing, right there. Yep, that is the Cyclops Phoenix 2-pack that I haven't opened it because I didn't have a spot for it at the time, and now like it's one of those things where I don't know how badly I want to open it. So, Third Agent, what upcoming wave are you looking forward to the most? Probably gonna have to say right now. I mean, I want to say the Spider-Man retro wave, just because that one's pretty sweet. If I had to say anything with Legends that I am like really excited about, is when they release that HasLab Sentinel. When they release that HasLab Sentinel, man, that is going to be insane. I don't know if you guys, I'm going to find it, because if you guys haven't seen the pictures, let's see, HasLab Sentinel. That's going to be the thing I'm going to be most excited for. As far as waves go, though, so far this year, the announced waves, none of them have really gotten me super excited. Like, I do like the fact that we're getting figures for some continuations. So, for example, like Strong Guy, you know, getting him so that we can have more X Factor and stuff like that. So, I really hate that toy collecting has become a blood sport, dude. It has, though, hasn't it? Like, it's vicious. I work with a couple other collectors, and we're finally to the point, like, I've been doing it on my own for so long that now that I got some collector friends, you know, he can look out for me and I can look out for him. Like, I was at Target, this was maybe a month ago, and they had just literally stocked. I watched them take it from the cart and put it on the shelf, a Red Hulk. And I already have Red Hulk. I got lucky and got him like the day it came out, but I saw them put one out, and a buddy of mine needed one, so I snagged it. And like, it is a blood sport, because you got guys like me that are shopping for 2 or 3 other people, and you know, yeah, it's crazy. The Venomized wave, when is that coming? Yeah, I don't know. Everything I heard about the Venomized stuff, aside from, what was it, like they had the Gwenpool or Spider-Gwen and a couple others. They were doing like the Titan series Venomized stuff I saw a bunch about. So yeah, I don't know. As I saved up $1,000 for whatever SDCC figures Hasbro is going to drop in a 5-second window this year. Yeah. Well, you know, we say that, so like that Hulk was super popular, but that Collector and Grandmaster 2-pack you could get for, I feel like it was like days afterwards. Oh, the year before that with the Subway, whatever, the Netflix pack. Like I him-hawed about that because I didn't really care about the Netflix stuff. I wasn't really watching it at the time, so for me, I didn't really need that. But that was up for like a month, so clearly wasn't popular. But I was saving that $1,000. This right there. So I was watching this live stream, and when Dwight, they're all working from home doing this live stream, and Dwight's like, "Oh, I want to show you something," and he puts down Jubilee, and then he puts down Wolverine. And I was like, "Oh God, he's like." I was sitting in my car. I was about to go to work, and I'm sitting in my car, and I'm watching it. I was like a kid. I got my phone sitting on my steering wheel in front of me, and I'm sitting there like, "What's it gonna be?" And he drops this leg, and I'm like, "Oh!" Like I literally like fist pumped, and immediately in my head was like, "How much money do I have to set aside to get 2 of these?" Like this thing is gonna be nuts. Like that is insane. The price, Third Agent, if you're talking about this Sentinel, I think it's gonna be up there, man. Like if we go back and look at, they had a 1-to-1 scale fully articulated Cookie Monster was in one of the there was the only HasLab that's failed so far, and that was like $350. And the what was it, Unicron was like 500. Now I mean, I'll give you that Unicron is certainly more intricate than what the Sentinel will more than likely be, but I think it's going to be up there. I'm thinking, I'm hoping for 300. I won't be surprised if it's 400 or more, in my honest opinion, especially looking at that picture. I mean, this thing is going to be, by the time it comes out, so my son is 2. I want to say Unicron was, like the HasLab was up at least a year ago. They're still in production. They haven't even shipped them yet. So let's say it takes 2 years from, if we say it takes 2 years from the time that the HasLab goes live to the time that they ship, my son will be, well, it depends on when it goes live. He turns 2 in August. But he might be about 4 years old by the time I actually get this thing in hand. And that's, I mean, some rough math just based on the history. Like, this thing looks like it will be as big as my son when I get it. And that is going to be awesome. Like, yeah, I can't wait. So yeah, the eBay prices, if you miss it, dude, yeah, like, it's going to be nuts. Was the last Giant Legends Fin Fang Foom? Yeah, actually, I believe it was. I was watching something and they were talking about that. And as a matter of fact, was it after Fin Fang Foom that they went and they did the small ones, like they did Rocket and Puck? I don't remember that. Yeah, I'm just trying to draw on memory. But yeah, Fin Fang Foom, which, like, the knockoffs for him go for $200, $150 to $200. Like, yeah, I really think Hasbro, they did talk about during this live stream when they showed the Sentinel leg. Just before that, they said, I think it was in 2021, they will have the biggest Build-A-Figure that they've ever done. Now, they're not talking about the Sentinel because that's going to be a HasLab. So if they're talking about the biggest one, I've never seen a Fin Fang Foom in person, so I don't know if he was bigger than like the Galactus and the Giant Man and stuff like that. Those were, I think, 18 inches. So like, what do? You go 24 inches, like double scale. Like, I don't know what that would be. I don't know who they would do. I'm wondering if it'll be a like a Celestial maybe for the movie coming up. They got pushed back. Yeah. Which X-Men characters are people or everyone here want in an upcoming release? Richter, Grizzly, and Pyro. They're doing Pyro in a 2-pack. Is it? Do they have the pictures of that? They do not have a picture. They have a picture of Rogue that's in the 2-pack, but they do not have the picture of Pyro. Yeah, I don't think he was at Toy Fair. So, but I'm with you on Pyro. Actually, I'd be with you on Toad too. So, oh, sorry, my son's twitching. I got the monitor over here, so I gotta keep an eye on him. What I really want is AOA Colossus and remake of Mojo. Yeah, Mojo would be solid. I missed out on some good Build-A-Figures because I just wasn't collecting at the time. Yeah, getting the classic Brotherhood of Evil Mutants though would be solid. You know, Toad, Pyro. I'd love to see a new Blob at some point. You know, that'd be cool. Updated Blob. Where are we at? Yeah, I could see them doing a wave 2 for Age of Apocalypse. You know, we need Colossus. Be kind of cool if they did like Kitty, and maybe I don't know, do somebody and just have them come with like an Age of Apocalypse head for Magneto. You don't really need a whole nother Magneto figure. I do have this Apocalypse pre-ordered. I have the AIM Soldier pre-ordered. I do have War Machine. And I have Kingpin pre-ordered. Oh, so Kingpin. So I said the King was sold out because I was under the in the brands. I was under the retro style, but they have him in the regular one, so he's not sold out yet. So that Kingpin's gonna be solid. Like, def definitely gonna be taking the Build-A-Figure Kingpin and putting the Shadow King head on it, and then this Kingpin is gonna be my Kingpin. I would love a new Blob. I don't think Hasbro would make that. During that live stream, they did mention that they try to give it, when they make a figure, they try to do it at least no sooner than 18 months apart for a release, and they want to make it mean something. I think that we're going to start seeing some more stuff like this, like we got with Kingpin. I think you're going to start seeing more deluxe figures. It's a way for them to sell Build-A-Figures without people having to get into full waves. You know, like to go back and get a Blob wave. I have the She-Hulk from the Blob wave because I found her for like $15. So I said, you know, fine, I'll take it. But like to get that full wave, you're gonna spend a few hundred. So, third agent, what Grails do you have in your collection? You know, I why is my color thing going crazy back here? I have my little remote control for my colors. I can change them if I want to. But what Grail do I have in my collection? You know, I'd probably say none, to be honest with you. And if I even had to say like what some of my Grails would be, I'll give you one, and it's one that I wouldn't get because of the price. My opinion on Grails, everything is a Grail, until you can just afford to buy it. You know, if I had the money, I would just get it. But this one right here, Series 3, Batman as Green Lantern, which was literally like one panel during, I think, Blackest Night or Brightest Day, one of the two. Um, yeah, sells for $100. That's a bit much. But yeah, I guess I don't really have any grails. You really got me pondering. Like, I have some hard to find figures. Like I was talking earlier, you know, I have the NECA Keaton Batman and the NECA Christopher Reeve Superman. But I wouldn't call those grails. They're just hard to find now, or rather, they're easy to find. You just got to pay a hefty price. So, yeah, that's a good one. I get asked that question a lot. Why is my color things goofing off again? I'm just looking back at the collection to see what I got. I think with me, it's more about having a connection to some of the figures. Like, you know, I have a G1 Optimus Prime that is in rough shape, but it's my G1 Optimus Prime. So, like, there's sentimental value to that. So, like, I think that's kind of where I'm at with my figures. It's more about like things I have a connection to or like things I have a story with. Sorry, I just saw my guy's is falling over there. Um, yeah. Hmm. You really got me thinking though. Um, oh yeah, right there, third age. Something that's important to you. Yeah, so I guess that would be it. You know, like I said, that G1 Optimus Prime is mine. I played with that thing as a kid. It is in terrible shape, but I like it. You know, it's mine. And I will say, I'll tell you a quick story just for fun. Why not? This is what we're doing. Um, my most memorable Marvel Legends find was the red suit Daredevil from the Hobgoblin wave years ago. I kept doing Walgreens runs trying to find them because Walgreens seemed to be the only people that were still carrying the Hobgoblin wave that I could find. And in the Flint area Flint area is great for Walgreens. The Flint, Michigan area has like 9 Walgreens within range. Maybe it's even more than that. Flint, Michigan. I feel like it was more. Yeah, so like the Flint area, you have all these different Walgreens that you can hit up. Yeah, really close. Temporarily closed. So anyway, I had been shopping forever trying to find them, and eventually, my wife and I were up in Petoskey, Michigan, on vacation, and there was a out of the way Walgreens. I was like, let's just stop in there and let's just check. So I go in there, and sure as shit, there's Daredevil right there in the front. And my wife wasn't in there with me, but if she was, she would have made fun of me because I audibly went like this, grabbed it, went up, paid for it, walked out, and she's sitting in the car just texting on her phone. She sees me walking up, and she kind of looks up, and I'm sitting there holding the bag, like cheering. And I get in the car, and I'm like, I found it. And she goes, good job, honey. Like, she always talks to me like I'm a little kid when I find toys, but yeah, it was pretty funny. So I don't know if that one, if I would call it special for any other reason than I just remember literally finding it. So, Serge, I'm the same with my OG Ninja Turtles. Right, like those are your turtles, man. Like you're never gonna get them back. I have a Shogun Warriors, great, with all but one missile. Would that count? How do I not know what Shogun Warriors is? I feel like I know it. I'm gonna see it. Am I dating myself in the wrong direction here? Oh, right. Oculus. I know what you're talking about now. Nice. I do remember those. Uh, about 15 in Hickory. Nope. Yep. Yeah, that's like if you get in a good Walgreens area, like it's not too bad. My favorite find was the Red Hulk. I got it on the first day of spring break, the day after I had a PR at a track meet. Yeah, like I got lucky with that Red Hulk too, and I probably made that same noise again when I saw it because it was. I want to say so. They announced it at Toy Fair, and then like people were posting on Reddit, like almost immediately they were posting on Reddit like it's out, go get it. I was like, holy shit! So before work, I went up to my Target, and it was a Tuesday because they stock on Tuesdays. Action figure collecting, right? You learn truck days for stores near you. But they literally had the cart out, and there was Hulk, and I literally just walked up and I saw it, and I did a little internal one of these, and then I just went and grabbed it, yoink, and then I was able to get that review out in time. One of the few reviews of a figure that I have with over 1,000 views, actually. I still haven't found Danny Moonstar. I did find two. Obviously, like a lot of people, I wanted three because I wanted all three figures. So I got two, and I can tell you in my area, in that Flint area, I went to one that's on a far side of Flint, found her, and then there was another one that was like maybe 5 minute drive, and I found her there as well. So my thought was that all those Walgreens probably got them in. They probably all got one, and I was gonna go to another one, but I had shit to do, so I ended up not going to any other Walgreens because I was hoping that I'd find her, and then I never did. Surge. My most recent best find was Power Ranger. Why I looked everywhere, gave up until I was at Target looking for NECA Ninja Turtle Bebop and Rocksteady. I was so stoked. The White Ranger? I've seen him everywhere. That's not what you're talking about, is it, Surge? Have I picked up any of the McFarlane DC figures? Um, so you are right about recognizing the bat on the tee because I am my videos. I always say this: my videos don't show it, but I'm a much bigger DC fan than I am Marvel. But no, I have not picked up any of the McFarlane DC figures. I actually just saw at Target the other day, and I can't believe that I didn't do it because these were two that I told myself I would pull the trigger on. Was the Arkham Asylum Batman and Arkham Asylum Joker. Um, I love the Arkham Asylum games; those are amazing games. I love playing them. Sorry, fly. But I saw them, and like any of the others, I grabbed them and looked at them, and Batman's proportions still didn't look right to me. His chest still looked a little wonky, and Joker felt, I don't know how to describe it, like flat. Like it just didn't look like it had any personality. And I don't know, like the McFarlane stuff, uh, it's good, and if anything is gonna get me, it's the Dark Knight's Metal stuff. I might have to get those because I don't see DC Collectibles releasing all of them in any affordable way. So I'd have to get Batman Who Laughs, obviously, and then I'd get like Red Death or yeah, was it Red Death? And then just all of them. So, but yeah, I've cut ties with DC for the moment because I just don't like McFarlane, and I say that like Mattel didn't have the best figures. However, they were just getting they were just hitting their stride, man. Like I kept saying the Ray figure that they did was Marvel Legends quality. Like he had ankle articulation, he had double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. Like it was a Marvel Legends figure. and I was so stoked. I was like, this is a great direction they're going in. And then, boom, they lost the license. I haven't been able to find the Lobo Wave. I want the Lobo Wave because Lobo is probably my second favorite DC character. My lights are turning blue and stuff back there again. We're just gonna turn it off. So yeah, excuse me. That's just kind of where I'm at with that. Have to wait a bit more for them to upgrade the figs. Yeah, for sure. Prove and Surge, I think they'll improve too. Like Todd has a very specific way when he's talking about those figures. Like, you know, he said, it was a review that I saw, that he said he's not making them for the guy that's going to buy an entire wave. He's making these figures for the person that collects Batman and he has a Batman shelf. So here's 10 different versions of Batman. You know, you want Superman, here's the Superman figure. You know, that's kind of the lack of build a figure or build a things. You know, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that approach to it. I guess. I was a huge DCUC fan. I really hate the way Mattel fumbled that line. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that kind of sucks is like they ended DCUC, but it literally, like, they still had the same sculpts and things like that that they transitioned when they did Multiverse. So I don't even know why they had to rename it. I don't know if they lost the ability to call it Universe Classics or what. But like the Universe Classics line, the lineup, the figure selection was freaking phenomenal. Like they had retro style figures, they had classic figures. Like, I mean, they had a good setup. And in fact, some of my Green Lantern figures that I have are DCUC and the Green Lantern waves that they did that were essentially DCUC. Do I have the Storm Collectibles Lobo? I do not. I don't have any Storm Collectibles. Kind of like Mezco, it's one of those things where I'd have to choose between getting one of those figures or 5 of like Legends. And I do want Storm Collectibles, don't get me wrong. I grew up with Mortal Kombat. As a matter of fact, I was showing off these Power Ranger McDonald's figures earlier, but in the same box I have like the old 3 3/4. I even got Goro. Like, I lived Mortal Kombat. You know, Mortal Monday was a thing for me. I had Mortal Kombat 2, all the abilities and all the fatalities memorized. So I want Storm Collectibles, but yeah, that price point just too much. Zachy, yeah, I have to pull the trigger for the Dark Knight's Metals figure. Yeah, like I mean, although I know the big criticism that McFarlane's been getting, or at least the joke that I hear, is why are they even calling it DC Multiverse? Why not just Batman Multiverse? Because it seems like there is a lot of Batman figures. I mean, the Arkham Asylum figures, you got the animated Batman, but now there's also the animated Batman variant. There's the terrible Batman from the Wave 1, but also a variant of that with a blue. And then, yeah, way too many Batman. Serge, I like the My Hero Academia stuff. Yeah, I'm not really into. I mean, My Hero Academia is anime, right? I That was the one thing I tried to get into anime when I was younger, and I just never did. I like some of the movies and stuff. You know, Akira, Ghost in the Shell, Demon Scroll. Those are like the ones that I think of that like were the ultra graphic stuff that I watched as a kid. I mean, he's getting better with the articulation. At least they're not statues. How do I feel about Marvel Select? So it's one of those things again where I think if I were getting into a specific line, selects are nice for the better detail. I don't dislike them, but I think selects are one of those ones. Like, as a matter of fact, right there is the Marvel Select Juggernaut, and right there is the Marvel Select Colossus. So I do have some Marvel Select figures. But and the oh yeah, and behind, well, it's really hard to do this. Anyway, next to them you'll see the green. There you go. Boom, Hulk. That's the Marvel Select Hulk down there. So I do like some of the Marvel Select. The posability, that Juggernaut does not pose at all. Thing is a brick, but it looks good. Third Agent, I would definitely pick up a MK figure if you have the extra money. I've had a few and love them. Yeah, as a matter of fact, where are we at? Sorry, I'm just pulling something up real quick. Is that not pulling up? Mortal Kombat. Like, these for sure are solid figures, man. I would love to have some of these. And I like that they have the variants too. Zachy, am I keeping up with Hickman's current X-Men run? I am not. Actually, most of what I'm reading is DC Rebirth. Well, I call it Rebirth. They haven't branded it Rebirth in a while. And even then, I'm mostly sticking with Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Flash, kind of the core, group of people. I stopped reading Harley Quinn because Harley is basically DC's Deadpool. Like, she is. Like, Harley is 100% DC's Deadpool, and I don't care for how they're doing it. But I've been wanting to get into some more current Marvel stuff. So, what do you think? Is it a good run, Hickman's X-Men run? Because I have not read an X-Men story in some time. In fact, right now I'm rereading Age of Apocalypse, so that when I do my Age of Apocalypse review, I don't have an essay from Oculus calling out some of the things that irk him about the set. Of course, but he didn't read 90s, so never mind. He didn't read that. But yeah, like, these Mortal Kombat figures are definitely solid. Tom King's run on Batman. I liked it, actually. The I Am Suicide run or story, like, I loved that the I Am Suicide. Leading up to the marriage was kind of cool. It was interesting. I knew they wouldn't get married. One of the issues that it caught me off guard as to how much I would enjoy it, but it's the issue where Bruce and Clark go on a double date with Lois and Selena, and they go to like a park and stuff, and then they dress as each other. It was a very humanizing story, and I liked it. Man, I'm trying to even think, because it's been now a while. I mean, Rebirth was 2016, so it's been a minute. But I Am Suicide is the one that stuck out to me. I don't know why I like that one so much. Man, here, hold on. Let me look up Tom King Batman. What are some of the stories that he did? Yeah, I didn't really care for the I Am Gotham or whatever it was story. This whole nightmare stuff was not bad, I guess. Yeah, there's the double date one that I was talking about. That one, like I said, that was a solid issue. Yeah, I Am Bane. That was a good one. Rules of Engagement. I feel like I remember that one. I feel like I didn't care for that. City of Bane. Man, it's been a minute since I've read those. But no, you know what? Actually, I haven't read this City of Bane because, yeah, I think Tom King's run came to an end right around there, right? So I'm actually behind on his run. I need to catch up on that for sure. War of Jokes and Riddles. Yes, yes. Why are those? You know what? Rebirth, Batman story arcs. Maybe that'll be a better listing. I think of them like I don't know why I just don't have them in my head. It's been so long. But yeah, I love Joker in War of Jokes and Riddles. Like just so like uncharacteristically Joker, I guess. Excuse me. Kite Man, yeah. No, Tom King was a solid run. Honestly, if I had to narrow, so when I narrowed my focus when I was reading Rebirth, I was reading damn near every title, um, and I narrowed it down. I really actually enjoyed the Superman run, or all the Superman Rebirth run. Um, as a new father, I loved reading about Superman as a father. It was like a whole different angle. It was really cool. I like that. Have I gotten any of the Sugar Man wave yet? I did. I have the whole wave. Um, Not sure what I'm going to review first though, because I still have Crimson Dynamo, Dema Goblin, and I had another wave. I got a couple waves that I got to get through. Do I prefer Snyder or King's Batman? It's been a long time because what New 52 was 2011, so it has been a minute since I reread any of Snyder's stuff. I would tell you I like Snyder's Batman, just in general, like his writing. I like it, and I don't remember disliking it back when I read it. So King's Batman, I'm trying to think how to describe him. Like I don't know, King's Batman was. They did a lot, especially like with the marriage stuff, to really humanize him in a way. Like he's still dark and brooding, but like he was really crushed by that. You know, the marriage not happening. Spoiler alert. So, Serge, got to work tomorrow. Hey, have a good one, Serge. Have a good night. DC's Crossbones. So I will say that. So I just said that I didn't really care for the Harley Quinn um, uh, comics, but I have the DC universe, and I started watching Harley Quinn, uh, the TV show, the cartoon, and I cracked up. Here, this should work. Tell me if the audio is good. But Bane in this. Oh, stupid ad. 3 seconds. Okay, 6 more seconds. I cracked up when they showed Bane like this. You guys hear it okay?
The Dallas Cowboys!
Incorrect. The Steelers have won the most games at Gotham Stadium.
I'm gonna blow up Gotham Stadium.
My chicken is raw.
Like, what they did with Bane was ridiculous. Zach, I also liked reading Superman Rebirth when it was written by Peter. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Yeah, so Bendis Superman. So I read Man of Steel when Bendis jumped on that, and I've been reading Bendis, and yeah, I don't know how I've been feeling about it. I like how they. So I liked the Superman Rebirth character design that they did, where it was kind of a mix of New 52, like they still didn't have the red pants, but it was like a one-piece blue bodysuit. And then when they did, I don't know the name of the story arc, but when they did the Superman, I think it was Superman Reborn, where they essentially had the essence of the New 52 Superman join with the Rebirth Superman, and it was their way to explain that the continuity of both Supermans happened, and then they just kind of forgot that there was a second Lois Lane that died as Superwoman and all that stuff. But when they did that, the new character design that they did there was pretty cool. I want to say that Rebirth Superman design still had the blue, no red trunks, but had red boots. And then when Bendis took over, it was just like, all right, we're going back to like 1986 Superman. Like you had the low cut shirt, you had the blue trunks, or the red trunks, the yellow belt, and the high red boots. And Yeah, Bendis. Yeah. Third Agent, favorite Mortal Kombat fighter. Trying to think back to my old days of beating my stepbrothers on the Sega Genesis. I mean, I think the classic that most people are going to go with, and I would say that he was probably, the terminology wasn't around in the 90s, but my main would have probably been Sub-Zero. I mean, I can still pick up. I mean, it's been years since I played Mortal Kombat 2, but if I had to fight a Sub-Zero, I would. I'm not saying I would win, but I would do pretty well. I would hold my own. In MK3, though, I did really well with Cabal. I don't know why I liked him, but I did really well with Cabal. So. Sorry, just taking a look here, seeing if there's any other new figures to talk about. Actually, I don't know if any of you guys collect NECA stuff, but they have the upcoming Alpha Predator. Like, pretty solid looking figure. I love the design that they did with it. The sidebar said that they did like this insect style, sort of inspired by his original design for the movie, which was fun fact, to quote somebody in this chat. Jean-Claude Van Damme was originally the Predator in the Predator movie. It is true. Jean-Claude Van Damme was going to be the Predator before they scrapped their idea to make him this little jumpy insect thing and make him this badass Predator that we know today. But I don't know, solid figure. NECA is kind of a love-hate relationship with me. I do collect some NECA figures in my very empty detolfs. These are where most of my NECA things are. So I have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, the Batman versus Alien, Superman versus Alien, and then I have my Green Lantern versus Yellow Lantern Predator, and then Batman versus Predator. A lot of RoboCops and Terminators and RoboCops versus Terminators. And then up here, I actually have the Heroes of the Storm, just the World of Warcraft figures, because I wanted World of Warcraft figures. I've played Warcraft since 2000, probably 2006. I played Vanilla Warcraft back in the day, and had left for a while, came back when Burning Crusade came out, played into Wrath, and like most people, Wrath was the best time ever. As far as what else I collect besides Marvel Legends, right now it's mostly Legends. Like I say, I don't do McFarlane stuff right now just because I don't care for their quality. I have in my collection the DC, the Mattel DC stuff and some DC collectibles. I don't really do Transformers just because I'll do G1. I've picked up some G1, like the reissues, the Walmart reissues. But really, Legends are basically it right now, just because nothing's really caught my attention. Oh, well, I guess I should say the NECA Ninja Turtles. I do have all those. I haven't reviewed those. Those are all still in boxes because those are going to go in the detolfs at some point. My detolfs are probably going to end up being mostly NECA stuff. So, I guess that's about it right now, though, as far as what I collect. Like, I think about the figures that I get, and it's most of that. I will say I did jump on board. I said I wasn't going to, but I did jump on board and snag the Spawn figure. Even though I've just been slamming McFarlane, I have high hopes for this figure. And if I end up not liking it, I don't think I'll have a hard time selling it, and at least bare minimum make my money back. I mean, I honestly would just try to post it up on eBay and see what it goes for. But I did pick up the Spawn figure to see, we'll see how good it is. I mean, he did quote, like in the video, he does show like the articulation looking pretty good. Was he just showing off a box here? All right, yeah, that was the dumb video to play. But I did the 3-pack because as he was showing all of these things that you're getting, I was like, well, he's doing all these upgrades. I guess I'll get it. So, oh boy, it is getting late. How long have I been streaming for? I started at 10, been 2 hours. Whew. Actually, guys, so looking at that, so it is about midnight. I do have to work in the morning, so like Surge, I think it is probably about time to get out of here. What did you guys think of this? Was this fun? Just kind of hanging out? I might do this more often if you guys liked it. So. Yeah, but that's gonna be it, guys. I think it's a good night. Been good hanging out with you. You guys were awesome. Thank you. I honestly was a little nervous about this just being me talking to myself. I want to say thank you to all of you guys for getting in the comment section and interacting with me. It was a lot of fun. I love it. So I will make sure to post more scheduled events so you guys know when I'm doing these live streams. That way you guys can jump in. Back at you too, man. Young, you were still here. You were in the comments, man. Young was in here at the beginning. Thank you. But that's it, guys. Have a good night, and I will see you on next stream.